Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Hello friends, this is Naeem Mushtaq here. I thought to introduce you to some of the books available in my personal library on how to handle difficult situation in life and how to deal with problems. We all have problem, we all have difficult times in life, especially in this corona situation where everyone is in a difficult position, whether it is emotional, financial, or psychological. Everyone is in a difficult situation. So how do you utilize these difficult moments productively and positively? How do you handle difficulties and problems in a normal life where there is no corona and the life is normal? How do you deal with difficult people? So I thought to introduce you to some of the books I have in my personal library. Most of the books you have maybe read, and most of the books maybe these are just new books for you. So these are my books. Whenever I have a problem in life, I look for the guidance. I go to the bookshops, I go to the different people, and I discuss with them how to deal with difficult problem. But most of my life is linked with bookshops and bookstores. So I read books to understand why I have this problem, what needs to be corrected. And if I give you the summary of entire literature on problem handling situations or self-help psychology, that whenever you have a problem, then you start looking for the solution, starting analyzing yourself. If you are on the right track, if you start analyzing yourself why you have this problem in life, then you will also find a solution in your own self. So every problem is an opportunity. Every problem you can convert every problem into a blessing, depending how you think, what is your mindset, what is your perception of life, what is your understanding of life, how do you see religion, how well you are connected with your faith, whether you are a Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or even atheist. So how do you connect yourself with the rest of the world? The problem and the solution, everything lies in you. So if you start analyzing yourself, your emotional stability, emotional maturity, your intellectual maturity, your perception of life, how you developed that perception, there is a history of events. You start analyzing those things. So this, what I understood by studying all this book is the main source of problem is you, and the solution is also in you. So you have to handle the difficulties of life by studying yourself first, and then you start handling problem. And the best way to handle problem, which I found in all the books, is to connect your heart with your mind. Start understanding problem through your mind and start dealing with problem through your heart. So there is a process and there is a role of love in it. The healing process is not an intellectual process. It's a process that starts from the heart, and then mind assists the heart to finish that healing process. So the books I have, these are some of the books I am introducing it to you. I have a lot of many other books on the same subject, on how to handle difficulties and problem in life. One of the major problem I still think is that you and I have to master is how to convert theoretical solution into a practical solution. This is very difficult, especially the solution is linked with other people. How do you handle their egos? How do you handle their perception? How do you handle their emotions? And then create a team and teamwork environment to address the problem. So this is the most difficult thing. I'm still trying to exercise, understand, and practice this difficult skill. And most of the inspiration I find when I study the Holy Bible. I try to understand the Jesus methodology. I try to understand the prophets of the Old Testament, their methodology, how they were able to face their difficulties. Then from being a Muslim, then I study the Holy Quran. I study the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I study the life of Sahaba, various companions. So these all biographies, these can assist you in understanding your life. Instead of studying theology from the religion, why don't we study the biographies of those people who brought us those religion, so that we can understand what emotions they were experiencing when they were dealing with those problems. So we can also compare our emotions with them, and then we can learn from their techniques on how to deal with our emotions. So this is just a brief introduction. So uh, let's start. Let me introduce you to those books that I have with me, and then you can also introduce your books in comments, any other suggestions you have. But this was just this video I just created for the purpose that some of my friends who are going through the difficult times, now they have time in their homes. If they have these books in their homes, they can also utilize them, and when this situation is over, they can order these books. Start educating yourself, and the better you educate yourself, the better person you become to handle those difficult situations. And then one day you will be in a position to assist your friends and your colleagues, your relatives, your office colleagues, to solve their problems by helping them solve their problems. So let's go to the book section now. Thank you. Okay, let's begin with the first book on books recommendation on how to deal with difficulties in life and how to deal difficult situations. First book I would like to recommend is the Holy Quran. This is my copy with Urdu translations and commentary, and this is the Arabic one. And the reason I'm recommending this one is not as a theological book, but the best way to read Quran to understand the difficulties of life, the realities of life, and how to deal with them is to start reading various biographies mentioned in the Holy Quran. How those people, when they face difficulties in life, how they deal with it, with their skills. You can study their skills, their attitude, their mindset, and the God's commandment to handle those problems. So you can study not theologically, but practically, keeping in view the difficulties of life and the realities of life. Then you can start getting understanding of what is the Quranic philosophy of understanding and handling difficulties and problems in life. So this is the first recommendation I would like to give. Second one is the Holy Bible. As a Muslim, I read Holy Bible, and I would like to recommend you Holy Bible. And in the same manner, don't read it theologically. This is a collection of various biographies from the Old Testament into the New Testament, and then you study the biographical aspect of the person, whether he is a prophet or representative of a prophet, and then you see how they deal with the difficulties in life, what skills were required to deal with those difficulties, what is their mindset, what is their attitude, and how God helped them to get a better mindset or provide different solution to handle different difficulties in life. So this is another perspective that you can read a lot of biographies in the book to understand, to review your mindset about life and to understand the different realities and perspective. So to upgrade your understanding of life, you may differ theologically, but as a book of biography, as you read the other biography of famous people, why not read it as a biographical book to understand the difficulties in life and how people before you, they were handling those issues. And by reading those biographies, you can get some guidelines, some inspiration for your own life. So this is the second book I would like to recommend. Third one is a very good book which we will be again and again mentioning. And now before that, another thing you can read, the biography of Holy Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. This is the book in Urdu language, or Rahiqul Makhtoom, published by, this is being distributed by Saudi Arabia. Now when you read, you can get another biography written by another scholar, Muslim scholar in your area in English. But the purpose is to read the biography from a biographical point of view, study the life, the attitude, the mindset, and the skills of Holy Prophet Muhammad, and how he was able to master the difficulties in his life. You have to study the mindset basically. Don't read it theologically, but read it as he was a man having difficulties to achieve his target, having difficulties, and how he was able to face those difficulties, how he was able to develop a team of people, assign them responsibility, delegate them responsibility, how he handled the power structure in his society. These are all different realities of life which we experience in our home, in our society, and in our corporate world. So you can read the biography in that particular perspective. And similarly, you can also read the same, you can also have the same approach in understanding the personality of Jesus Christ, his mindset, his perception of the world, how he handles problem, how he defines problem. So all these things you can understand from his biography. So you can study the biography of Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You can study the biography of Jesus the Christ and other prophets. And if you belong to another religion, you can pick the biography of your own founder of your religion to understand how they were able to master those difficulties. Now another book which we will be mostly using, and I will be using the word mindset. In all the problems and difficulties, when you handle those difficulties and problem, number one skill you need to have is your perception right. The thing that you are thinking is a problem may not be a problem, it may be an opportunity. The problem that you really think is a problem may not be a problem for another person, because his experience and his mindset and his perception about the life and the realities of life may be different. So you need to understand, you need to get this book before you start understanding how to handle life. Is a very good on mindset. What is mindset? How you can review your own mindset, and what are the skills required to shape a mindset. This is a very good book. Okay, then there's a very good book by Julia Ziegler Norman, Embrace the Struggle, Living Life on Life's Terms. This is a very good title, and I was able to get this book from old bookshop here, and you can see the fall and the future, and you can see my marks. And this forward is written by Zig Ziglar's son, Tom Ziglar. He says, getting knocked down in life is a given. Getting up, starting from where you are and moving forward is a choice. This is a very beautiful sentence. And then this is a very good thing. He says, it is in the depths of struggle that God reveals his eternal blessing. Sometimes problems are, just the problems, but beneath those problems you will find the blessings. So every problem may be an opportunity to help you grow and move forward in your life. So this is a very good book, and Embrace the Struggle has different chapters, like physical struggle, financial struggles, 3 mothers, 3 struggles, addiction to survive, marriage struggles, family struggle, spiritual struggle with illness and grief. So these are different various aspects of life and how to deal with them. This is a very, very good book. I would like to recommend. Second book is Joyce Meyer's. You know her, she has written a lot of book on the subject. I have this one with me, so I thought to introduce it to you. Overcoming your need to please everyone. Approval addiction. Sometimes our problems are not our problems, but our problems are based on our attitude to please everyone. So this is also a very good book on understanding the addiction problem, like part 1, accepting who you are, part 2, addressing your addictions, the different type of addictions, breaking the pattern for the future. This is about reshaping your mindset. So this is a very good book. Yes, and this is a book by Joel, Blessed in the Darkness, and this is a very, very good book, especially fully focused on how to handle difficulties or difficult moment in life. And he talks about don't waste your pain. This is the first chapter I read before I read the whole book, because I've gone through a lot of these things. And this is a very thought-provoking book, and you can see my highlight. These are pull quotes. Writing style is excellent, plain, simple, with very powerful words. And then you can see a lot of these things. So this is a very good book on understanding the difficulties, pain, and all those difficult situations that we face, and how can we reinterpret those situations, and how can we get blessing from those situations. So this is a very good book on reshaping your perception. Charles Stanley, Waiting on God. This is a book about when you are in a waiting process, about things to happen nicely, then what you need to do in that waiting process. You can either start thinking negatively, you can start thinking positively, or you can start connecting yourself with the higher power is that is the God Almighty. So there is a sweet there is another world in the when you are in the waiting phase, things to happen. So this is a book about that one, Charles Mandy. So this, you know, this guy, Life Without Limits, is a very good book by Nick. He himself is an inspiration. If he doesn't write a book, he just keep on speaking, you will get a lot of inspiration and motivation from his life. So this is a very good book on how to handle difficulties in life. And the same book, another one, Be the Hands and Feet, Living Our God's Love for All His Children. These are two very good books. I would say he is a Christian Sufi who defines and write about life in a biblical manner. So you will find a lot of biblical theology, you will find a lot of biblical perspective on how to understand life and how to deal with difficulties of life. And these are two best books on understanding life perspective. Now these oh yeah, by the way, I mentioned this book before, to study the life of Holy Prophet Muhammad, and for this thing I just missed one point which I want to bring it again. Napoleon Hill, in his famous book Think and Grow Rich, I have 1960 version with me, and in chapter 9, How to Master Difficulties, persistence, chapter on persistence, how to master difficulties. And he say, if you want to master difficulties and understand how to handle life, you need to study the biography of Holy Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam. He mentions some qualities, and then paragraph he says, if you are keenly interested in studying the strange power which gives potency to persistence, read a biography of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If you want to achieve your result by handling the difficult situations, you need to be persistent. But how do you develop this quality is simply go and study the biography of Holy Prophet Muhammad, and then he gives you brief understanding of his biography. So even Napoleon Hill is suggesting that if you want to understand how to handle difficult situation in life, he is recommending to read the biography of Holy Prophet Muhammad. And with this one, like I would say, read these three books. When Bad Things Happen to Good People, this is written by a Jewish scholar from a Jewish perspective, Old Testament theology. This is written by a Christian pastor. Tough Time Never Lasts, but Tough People Do is a very good book also from a Christian perspective. Think and Grow Rich is purely from a commercial perspective, but he gives a lot of references from the Bible, from the Muslim perspective, and he gives a lot of case studies. So these three books are very good. Yeah, this is a good book, the Book of Healing. How do you heal yourself after facing the difficulties of life, whether that may be a medical difficulty, psychological difficulty, emotional difficulty. So this book, Kitab Shifa, the Book of Healing, is published in USA, and this gives you all the sayings of the Holy Prophet Muhammad and verses from the Holy Quran that deals with the process of healing. So this is a very good book. And with this one, there's another good book, the Sufi book of Life, 99 Pathways of the Heart for the Modern Darwish. These are the explanation of 99 names of God mentioned in Islamic theology. And with every name, Al-Mutakabbir, concentration. Like every name has a unique management and behavioral quality. If you understand the name, then you can apply it in your life to deal with the different situation of life. So this is a very good book, a managerial or psychological explanation of the 99 names of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. This is also a good book. And then we have this one good book, The Hidden Gift of Helping, Stephen Post, how the power of giving, compassion and hope can get us through hard times. Sometimes the best way to deal with problem is to Go out and find a person who is suffering from his problem and start helping that person. In the process of helping that person, you will get to realize how big is your problem. Maybe it's not a problem at all, but you made it a problem in your mind. Sometimes it will help you to understand that how blessed you are, even you have that problem, by looking at the other people's problem and their difficulties. So this is a very good book on reshaping your mindset and understanding life in a different perspective by helping other people. Sometimes you get a better understanding of life just by looking at the other people. So this is a book by Stephen. Then adaptability, the art of winning in an age of uncertainty. Adaptability and flexibility are the two qualities that will help you to go through any difficult situation. And this is a very good book. You can see my notes. And you will understand a new perception, a new definition of the concept of adaptability. I never thought adaptability was a management skill or behavioral skill until I read this book. So this is McKeown. Anyway, excuse me for my pronunciation, but adaptability is this one. The Think and Grow Rich Foundation, they published a book. They call this power of perseverance is the stickability. This is a very good word. I first time hear this word stickability. This is a very good book, and this also deals with the, this is based on same Think and Grow Rich, and you can say this chapter 9, persistence. Based on this chapter, they designed this new book and call it the Stickability Think and Grow Rich series. And this is one of the best book on how to stay focused, hopeful in difficult times through your ability of stickability. So you can see that this is the author. Let go, let miracles happen. Sometimes you cannot do anything in spite of all the conceptual clarity. You don't understand where the things are moving, and you are not in a position to evaluate the environment and everything else. And then this art of spiritual surrender helps you. Things you cannot understand, if you are spiritually connected with God, you let God handle those things, and then you focus on what needs to be done, what is under your control. And winning through surrender. This is a very, very book on a scientific and spiritual explanation of what do we mean the word surrender. And this is not negative, this is in a positive sense. When you go through the book, you will read it. And she is the author of the book. And other books, let me see. This is also two good books. Getting Through What You Are Going Through. Comfort, Hope and Encouragement from the 23rd Psalm. This is from the Old Testament, the book of David, Psalm 23rd Psalm. This is the entire book explaining 23rd Psalm. Very beautifully written and very, very motivational and inspirational points on how to handle difficult situation in life. So you will get I would say you can understand 23rd Psalm in a much more better way, focusing on this perspective. And this is written by Robert. You can see that on the net. Same thing, how to handle problems, God presence and prayer. How you can handle problem through prayer, because there are a lot of problems that may not make sense like this. At the moment now we are dealing with coronavirus. What can you do about it? So the best thing is to pray and let God handle that issue. So there are so many other areas in life where you are helpless. You cannot do anything. The best thing you can do is to pray and let God manage that problem. So this is another good book for that. This is a mindfulness, movement. How to stay human in a F-up world. So this is a very good book with a lot of Buddhist theology on how to stay human when other people suck. This is a chapter number 5. And Healing Old Pain. This is all based on Buddhist philosophy. It's a beautiful book based on Buddhist technique on how to understand and handle difficulties in life. And this is an interesting book. Every time I find the meaning of life, they change it. Wisdom of the Great Philosophers on How to Live. This is basically the personal book notes of the author, and written 50 years ago. Now it is published in a form of a book. So every chapter you can see focused on one philosopher and what he thinks about life, what is life and how to handle life. So this is a very entertaining book in a very philosophical manner on understanding how to understand life and how to deal with difficult situation in life. Yeah, The Art of Not Falling Apart, a shockingly honest celebration of life as an adventure. She's a British author and she has gone through a lot of difficulty in life. Then during those difficult moments, she wrote a book, The Art of Not Falling Apart. What you can do when you are facing difficult times and problems in life, how you maintain yourself so that your own existence doesn't become a problem. So this is a very, very good, beautifully written book on how to handle. Christina Patterson. Then this is a good book, Happy. Fernie Cotton, Happy. This is a very good book. She was a patient of depression. She recovered from depression and then she wrote this book, and you will find a lot of good sentences that can, easily clarify or maybe give you a new perspective. Like for example, this one, I marked it, don't breathe life into it with words. Don't breathe life into problems with your words. This is what I mean. And I was just highlighted this area because most of the time the problem is not big, but we make it big with our reaction and our perception. So this is another good book you can read and understand how to manage happiness and how to handle difficult situation in life. The Obstacle is the Way, The Timeless Art of Turning Trials into Triumph. This is another good book on how to handle difficult position, how to handle difficult situation in life. And part 1 is about the perception, mindset, how to change your mindset, and then action, the will, and then the other stuff. So this is a very good book again on discussing your perception of life and your perception of problems. Then this is another good book, The Misfits Manifesto. People who think they are misfit, or sometimes we are told that we are misfit, but actually we are not. So how to deal with a society where genius are misfit, and how do you design your philosophy or your perception where you are able to live with them. So this is a very good book on understanding Misfits Manifesto, and very good book, very beautifully presented. You can see the book is full of definitions and how to reset your mindset. Why won't you apologize? Healing big betrayals and everyday hurts. Sometimes when we go through problems, we are hurt because someone has destroyed our confidence in them, and sometimes we expect other people to apologize, but they don't. So how do you heal that, go through that healing process? And this is the best book on the concept of apology. According to the author, it is not just like I am sorry. You have to do much more than to make I am sorry realistic and practical. And how you can do that, you can all, and I have highlighted different words. Apology is a healing process, but people don't understand. So what is the starting point of apology? What do you need to do on a daily basis to make apology a practical reality? This is a very, very good book on the topic. Why worry? Jesus said, why do you worry, in 4 Gospels? And this is a book specifically on worry issue, written by Catherine Tristan, and this is understanding the worry, psychological understanding. Sometimes the problem is one problem. When we start worrying about the problem, our worry becomes a second problem. So we need to understand the worry issue so that we can purely focus on the problem without going into that worry, mode. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is the psychological treatment of the problem. Is like when you listen a lot of lectures from different various scholars and people, they're trying to upgrade your conceptual clarity. They're trying to create, a fresh or new mindset. So this is all about CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Every person should go through it, because when you're talking to someone about your problem and they are guiding you, that process is CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. So this is a very good book, and this is the best book so far I have on the subject. There are a lot of other books, but as far as the clarity and originality and the expression of, this is the best book I have find. ABC of CBT and managing anxiety. Now, this is another book, very good book, Act with Love. Stop struggling, reconcile differences, and strengthening your relationship with acceptance and commitment therapy. This is basically on couple therapy, but the same can be applied on any relationship, whether this is in office or this is in society, with your friends, with your colleagues in your office, and at home with your children and with your wife. So the philosophy, Act with Love. You start dealing problems with the force of love, and this is one way. Usually we learn to deal with problems through our mind and intellect. Then there's another way which Sufis and traditional theologians use, is to deal with problems with heart also, so that the love can play its own role where mind cannot do anything. Now there's another series of very, very good book. This is, you must know, the life-changing magic of not giving a F, Sarah Knight. This is first book I have when I bought his book 2 years ago. And there are new books in the market. 4 thoughts that F up your world and how to fix them. This is again, the problem is your attitude, not the problem. You see that? Sometimes the problem is not the problem, it's your attitude about the problem is the problem. And these are 4 thoughts, 4 perspective on how to deal with difficult time by Sarah Knight. No, sorry, this is by Daniel Fryer. This is by Sarah Knight. You and You. How to be who you are and use what you have got to get what you want. Sarah Knight. This is again a problem solving book. Focus on how to handle difficult situation in life and how you can move on by handling those problems. Get your S together. This is again how to stop worrying about what you should do, so you can finish what you need to do and start doing what you want to do. This is again a very good book. And a feeling. Sarah Bennett and Michael Bennett. Practical advice for managing all life's impossible problems. This is again a very good book on how to understand life and manage problems. The subtle art of not giving up. And this is another good book, very famous, you can find in the book. Happiness is a Problem, You Are Not Special. This is again reshaping your mindset and perception to deal with the difficulties in life. And again with this one, Barking Up the Wrong Tree. The surprising science behind why everything you know about success is mostly wrong. This is another good book on reshaping your mindset and your perception on how to handle difficulties in life. Living successfully with screwed up people. Sometimes people are also the part of the problem. So how do you deal with people apart from dealing with difficulty or the situation? So dealing with people's attitude, their different backgrounds, and this is another. Sometimes the problem is one issue and the person who caused the problem is the second issue. So how to deal with the second issue, this book is good for you. This is a very good book. And Everything is F, a book about hope. Okay, this is another good book on, how to deal with difficulties in life. And this is again the subtle art of not giving a F. This is. Yeah, these books, 2 books are from the same author. Yeah, this one. And these are some of the books on how to deal with difficulties in life. And I have a lot of other books on the same topic, but I just thought to introduce you some of the books that you can use to reset your mindset, review your mindset, your perception. One thing is common in all those books, that if you want to solve a problem, start with yourself. Start why you have that problem. When you start with yourself, not directly with the problem itself, then you will get the idea way to find the solution. If you keep on studying the problem but not yourself, then you may not be able to find a solution. So always start with yourself. Start questioning yourself why that problem came into being, what you can do about it, and what you can do next to avoid that problem in the future. So this is all for this time, and with the next video, inshallah, see you again. Thank you.